You know, there is a very essential word that we are using in order to define our neighbors. Sometimes they become our enemies. And the word is "Hia'ni." When Mahmoud Abbas speaks about fighting terrorists, and at the same time is cutting 7% of the budget of the Palestinian Authority, 7%, in order to pay to terrorists who are in Israeli jail, who are paying to families of terrorists who committed suicide, killed themselves in order to kill others, or terrorists who got killed during terror events like the last one in Jerusalem, that right away they are getting paid. Can you imagine an arch-terrorist, Abdallah Barghouti, who was in charge to build the belts with explosives for suicide bombers? We detained him 15 years ago during the Fancy Fleet operation. He was sentenced in Israeli jail for 67 life imprisonment because he's in charge, or his bombs, his belts, killed 67 Israelis and others, including Arabs, including visitors. This man, during the 15 years in Israeli jail, got paid from the Palestinian Authority by law more than 700,000 Israeli money, which is more than almost $200,000. An average salary in the Palestinian Authority is around 4,000 to 5,000 shekel, which is a bit more than $1,000. The average payment that a terrorist gets in jail, of course, according to the years he was jailed, I mean according to the number of Israelis that he injured or killed, the average payment is between 6,000 to 10,000 shekel, which is almost double than a policeman in the Palestinian Authority. So when Mahmoud Abbas says, I'm against terrorists, we have to add the word "Hia'ni." I know the word has no translation neither in Hebrew, nor in English, nor in French. So to demonstrate it, I need a true story that happened years ago, when from the holy city for Christianity, Bethlehem, Palestinian Muslim terrorists launched mortar shells towards the holy city of Judaism, Jerusalem. And at that time, President Bush was here. Prime Minister Sharon called him and said, if these mortar shells are not going to be stopped at once, we are going to be back with the IDF into Bethlehem. President Bush called Yasser Arafat and told him, you have to block it. You know the arch-terrorist who's behind it. You know the name. The Israelis handed it over to you. And you have to put him in jail. And he promised President Bush, I'm going to put him in jail within days. A week later, Minister of Foreign Affairs Shimon Peres called me. I was head of Shin Bet, and told me, Avi, join me to the meeting in King David. I said, what is it? He said, they caught the arch-terrorist. I told him, Shimon, it's bullshit. They didn't do anything. But Shimon calls you, you go. I joined him to the meeting. In front of us, 3 key leaders of the Palestinian Authority. The Speaker of the House, the Palestinian Parliament. Last time was elections there 11 years ago. The right hand of Yasser Arafat at that time and today of Mahmoud Abbas, Saeb Erekat. The president of the Palestinian Authority was last time elected 12 years ago. And my counterpart, the head of the Palestinian FBI, Jibril Ajoub. And I looked at them. The Speaker of the House told me, Avi, I'm glad to tell you the arch-terrorist is in jail. I said, you know he's not in jail. He didn't argue with me. He looked at the right hand of Yasser Arafat and said, Saeb, isn't he in jail? Saeb Erekat has no idea whom we're talking about. But he said, definitely he's in jail. And both looked towards Jibril Ajoub and asked him, isn't he in jail? Now, Jibril was in a catch. Because if there is someone in the Palestinian Authority who was supposed to put him in jail, It was him. Now, he was in a catch because he knew he's not in jail. More than that, he knew that I know he's not in jail. And above all, he knew that I know that he knows that he's not in jail. And they pushed him, isn't he in jail? And he picked up the ultimate word for such occasion in Arabic, which means Ya'ni. Ya'ni means he's in jail. Ya'ni means he's not in jail. Ya'ni means everything in between. And by the way, to end this story, 2 days later, a car exploded in Bethlehem. The Archbishop was there, and we ended the story in a different way.